Unless you are living under a rock, you've probably heard about the controversy involving the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard. We haven't touched on this topic on the show yet. So to give you all some backstory, an investigative journalist by the name of Pablo Torre has accumulated a substantial amount of evidence that suggests the Clippers may have circumvented the NBA salary cap rules through a $28 million no-show job with a now bankrupt company called Aspiration. Aspiration is a tree planting company. While the controversy itself could fill its own discussion, I'm way more interested in the takes coming out of the Torrey Clippers report. And some of them, in my opinion, are just terrible. There's a lot of people saying, who cares? What's he even getting out of this? And it leads me to this. This is exactly what happens when NBA journalism gets Shamsified. And no offense to Shams, shout out Shams, it's all love. But what I mean by that is these days reporting is less about actually investigating or holding people accountable and more about repeating news. And a lot of that news is whatever agents or whatever PR teams are feeding the Shams, the Wojs of the world, right? Real journalism is gone, in my opinion. And then you look at how players are taking it. You got Channing Frye, for example, coming at Pablo with, first of all, why are you snitching? Snitching? I'm like, that's how disconnected you are from the actual reporting. It's like, since when did doing your job make you the villain? And I feel bad for Pablo, honestly. And I know, Lachelle, you've touched on this a bit. So I want you to chime in here as well and chat. Feel free to drop your opinions. But it's just so interesting how he's being attacked. Even we've seen Mark Cuban join the conversation. I'm like, this guy is just doing his job, and he's doing his job well. So like the fact that people are looking at this, like I said, making him a villain, thinking that this is, some type of misstep, like, let me know what you think, because I think it's awfully weird. And like I said, a lot of bad takes that I'm seeing on my end.
People are odd. I mean, social media now, people can't differentiate, like you said, the Shams of the world and actual journalism. I mean, the job of journalism is to uncover truth, however that is supposed to be. And, chat, I'll let you research, but there was a very well-known media personality journalist that actually called Pablo out a few months ago and was like, he's not really a real journalist. Ever since that man said that about Pablo, he has been on a legendary run of uncovering a lot of stuff. You got Collusion Gate in the NFL he uncovered. I mean, he's went so far in uncovering things since that was stated about him, which is investigative journalism. And maybe for people, they don't understand how that works. He has taken 7 months in investigating this Aspiration Kawhi Leonard case. He did not wake up 2 months ago and was like, I'm about to blow this whole thing up. He's been investigating this for 7 months. And what people fail to realize, that's how journalism is supposed to be. And you also don't know if he got a tip about it, because that's how that also works. Hey, do you want to know about this? I actually want to share my story about what's happening so you can uncover it. That's how a lot of major scandals have been talked about. One person going to one journalist that they felt like, hey, maybe you can uncover all these other documents. He's had 7 sources, 2 former employees that were willing, voice modulated, to speak to him and have that used. Like, I don't know why the NBA is being like this. I don't understand why Channing Frye said what he said. Like, that it's not snitching, it's journalism. He gains nothing from this. Right. Other than now, people got to be on their P's and Q's with him, because he might be finding out things you don't want people to know. But that's what the show is called. Pablo Torre finds out. He's finding out. Like,
if it wasn't obvious enough, yeah.
Yeah, like, what is the difference when everyone likes to sit there and figure out who so-and-so's dating, and you're on Dumas, and you're like, oh, they date, wow. Y'all ain't calling them snitches. But right. Now the person with an actual Harvard degree, who was on ESPN, who has been in this world for a very long time of journalism, now y'all upset.
Right.
I don't know what Mark Cuban did. I actually want Mark Cuban to stop talking to Pablo. I love Mark Cuban. But it's getting to a point. Pablo is he said some things to that man that I'm like, Mark, I think you should take his little hint because that's not somebody I want to make mad right now. That's
Right.
not somebody because a part of me feels like Pablo's like, all right, keep on acting like I'm lying before I start digging up some stuff.
Right.
Like, and I like that back and forth between him and Mark Cuban has been the funniest thing to me because like nothing Mark Cuban has said has made sense to me. And
No.
his entire argument is basically like, because I'm a billionaire and because I owned a team, I'm telling you how this like couldn't have happened.
Right. How things work. Because I saw a tweet. He was like, well, you don't understand like the business of owning a team. You don't understand the behind the scenes. You don't need to understand any of that. You
That has
don't.
nothing to do with that.
It doesn't
That has
have
nothing.
anything to do. Not
Yeah,
the
like it's
slightest.
not
You have a different
owning a team
perspective,
101.
but
Right.
it's not like you
Exactly.
have different level of knowledge. Like there
And Pablo's like, he can't get it. I watched the interview with them, and Pablo was like, I'm literally showing you the documents.
right.
Like, he's like, I've been scammed too. Huh?
Been scammed too.
Mark? That was his argument. He's like,
Uh,
I've been scammed too, so it's not far fetched. Like, Mark was trying to throw Uncle Dennis under the bus. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Uncle Dennis, I might have to sing. I might have to, because I'm not going down. Oh
right.
no. Mark Cuban spent that whole interview basically saying, like Uncle Dennis was the culprit. If I
Mm.
was Uncle Dennis, oh, I'm snitching.
I'm
Now I'm a
singing like a
snitch.
bird. Yeah, now the snitch word comes into the
Yeah.
conversation.
Now
Yeah,
I'm snitching
I'm
because
singing like a bird. I'm not gonna go down for
I
that.
would call Pablo. I would call Pablo right now. Hey,
Right.
you want to know what really happened?
This is
I'll
my
tell
side of
you
the
in person.
story.
Meet me here. Okay, so this is what Steve told me. This is what he said when we went to the meeting. Okay, and this is also what he said. Okay, what else do you need? Because Mark was Uncle Dennis. I said, I know you lying. Why would you throw Uncle Dennis? Uncle Dennis not the billionaire here. Like, why is you? He didn't invest $60 million into this fraudulent tree planting cup. Now Uncle Dennis
Exactly.
got to run for his life. Cause
Right.
like I don't know what Steve Ballmer might do. That man loves the Clippers. If he
Mm-hmm.
really feels like I fear for him. Cause that interview he did, I said, oh, he's not taking this well. He said, I'm scammed. Steve,
Steve, come
you're
on
a
now.
billionaire. You're a billionaire. You can't, huh? You're not the victim here.
Right.
Stop it. But I fear for him. Like somebody gonna have to take the fall for this.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Uncle Dennis, I'm snitching. I'm
Yeah.
going right to Pablo and I'm telling exactly what happened, how Kawhi had no idea, how yes, I did do it, but Steve told me how. We're all going under. Yes. Together in the
Right.
name of investigative journalism.
Right. If I'm going down, so are you. Let's go, buddy. Hold my
Hello.
hands.
Like
My
what?
hand. Let's jump in the deep end now. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. And it's crazy too, because it's like the Clippers cannot escape owner controversy. That was the first thing that popped in my head once reports came out. I'm like, oh my gosh, between the family, the what's their names? The old owners.
Oh, the Sterlings?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Between the Sterlings and Steve Ballmer, I'm like, they cannot escape. The Clippers
No, this is
cannot
bad.
escape. And this is
No, this
yeah,
is bad.
this is definitely I feel like worse.
Yeah.
If they
On an
find
ownership level, it's
yeah,
horrendous. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
If they find because I mean at the end of the day, the other issue, and I know we said that we were going to focus more on the Pablo piece of it, but to get into the actual controversy, right? The NBA's involvement. We've seen Adam Silver say, we're not going to do anything unless there's substantial evidence. So, now it's about proving that what Pablo has brought to the table is ultimately we can connect all those dots and find those things to be true. So that's the part where I'm like, dang, like, I don't know, realistically speaking, if the NBA is going to be able to do all that.
I think he's making it so hard on them. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if every time one of them speaks, the next day he has more evidence that pretty much throws away their initial statement that they made
Yeah,
prior. Like,
that's true.
like it it's actually funny in so many ways, because it really does feel like Kendrick Lamar just like dropping tracks after each one. Like every time one of them says something, it's like the next day Pablo has something that's like, wow, you just completely got caught. I mean, you have Commissioner even saying like, I never heard of the company Aspiration. But Mark Cuban said on the interview that the NBA goes through a very extensive, vetting process of NBA sponsors. And this was a sponsor that was going on their jersey. So what do you mean you never heard of the company Aspiration until that episode?
Right.
Like, there's certain things like him saying he wanted it to be fair. And then you got Pablo being like, okay, so the other minority owner just randomly dropped this money and 9 days later Kawhi gets paid. I guess that's not a coincidence. It's like the evidence is so crazy that I don't even think you could use benefit of the doubt now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless you just want to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But at this point, Adam Silver's in a pickle. Unless there is somebody's going to have to take the fall for this.
Oh, absolutely.
So, somebody. And Steve is trying to figure out who. Because something has to happen. There's any person who can read can see that my mother, who is 67, I've explained this to her, and she's like, so the owner did it. Now, if she could figure this out, I don't know how the rest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, somebody in the chat said that boy got receipts, and then they asked, so is it money laundering? I guess.
Great question. Great question. Well, the owners, I think the co-founders they pleaded guilty to wire fraud, and I think something else. So the co-owners did, but Steve, it's so much more that I think is to this that I don't even feel like we've touched the surface of how deep and I'm scared of how deep it could go.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, we're talking about millions of dollars in like real cap circumvention, like blatantly in our eyes. That's a lot of money to be circumvented. A lot.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
That's close to $50 million. Like,
yeah, it's no joke money. It's not like it's 6 figures, 7 figures. Like it's a lot of zeros, and it's a lot of money, like you said, to be getting around the salary cap is something a clear violation of the NBA rules. So this is gonna potentially spiral into something that is
for sure
beyond what we have ever seen. And like you said, somebody's gonna have to take the fall, and it's just a matter of who at this point. And I'm very curious to see what Pablo has next. That's all I got to say. So, Pablo, if you are watching this, we are patiently waiting.
Yes.
We want to know what receipt you have queued up. We have notifications on, and we're locked in and we are ready.
It's like Gossip Girl.
It really is.
I'm not going to ruin Gossip Girl for you guys, but
Pablo Torre.
Yeah. Pablo finds out. I mean, he's very true to the title. Mm-hmm. He's finding out.
Yep. No, shout out Pablo. And that's another thing I want to touch on too, because in the midst of all of this, people kind of getting on him about, oh, you're snitching, this isn't real journalism, what are you doing, you're being painted as a villain. You're not the villain, Pablo. You're not the villain. You are doing great work. You have opened a lot of conversations, and despite what that may lead to, you are not the person to be blamed. So I hope you're taking this. I hope you're taking this well. Like you said, you have a supporter in us, and I'm sure thousands and thousands of other people who are patiently waiting alongside to see what you got next. Because this is hot. This is hot.